The alien girl lay still, hidden under broken metal and dust. Her body trembled. She didn't know how long she had been there. Hours maybe, or days. Her people had left her behind during the battle, calling her weak, useless, a burden. They thought she had died when the monsters came. But she hadn't. Not yet. Around her, the ruins of war buzzed with distant sounds, howls, roars, heavy feet dragging across stone. The monsters still searched. She didn't know what they were, only that when they attacked, her squad fled. They didn't look back. She was not important enough to save. Her small hands gripped a metal rod, once part her weapon, now useless, just like her. Then she heard footsteps, soft ones, careful, not the dragging weight of the monsters, not the pounding boots of her people. Different. She squeezed her eyes shut. "Wait," said a voice. A man's voice. It was deep, but not cruel. "Are you alive?" She opened her eyes a little. A figure stood above her, silhouetted by the pale light above. A helmet. A human. She had never met one before, only heard stories. Dangerous. Cold. No emotion. But this one, he was kneeling. "I'm not here to hurt you," he said gently. She said nothing. He carefully moved the metal beam from her legs. She hissed in pain. He paused. "You're injured," he said. "I can help." Still she didn't speak. She didn't believe him. The human soldier removed his gloves and gently lifted her leg. She flinched, but his touch was careful. He wrapped something around her knee. Then he looked at her face. Her purple eyes watched him, unsure. "Why?" she whispered finally. "Why help me?" He tilted his head. "Because you're alone. And you're hurt. That's enough." Her people had told her humans were selfish. But this one was bleeding. His side was torn. Still, he helped her first. He placed her on his back and started walking. She had no strength to fight. Her mind spun. She remembered when the monsters attacked. How she screamed, how her comrades ran. No one stayed, except this man, a stranger. They reached a ruined building. He set her down inside. "You're safe here," he said. "For now." She looked at him. "What's your name?" "Darren," he replied. "You?" She hesitated. "Zira." Darren smiled. "Zira, nice to meet you." The warmth in his voice confused her. She had never heard kindness in a voice before. Night came. The monsters roamed outside. Zira shook in fear. Darren lit no fire, but he sat beside her, knife in hand, watching the dark. "They'll come," she whispered. "They smell weakness." "Let them," he said. "They won't touch you." She stared at him. "Why risk your life for me?" He shrugged. "Maybe I'm foolish. Or maybe I just don't like seeing someone left behind." Zira said nothing, but in her chest, something tight loosened. Days passed. Darren hunted small creatures, brought her food. He treated her wound. He joked sometimes. She had never laughed before, but now, small sounds escaped her lips when he smiled. She began to speak more. She told him about her planet, her people, how she was born weak, slower than the others, how they trained her to fight, but only because they had to. She was never praised, always silent, always alone. "You're not weak," Darren said one night. "You don't know me," she said. "I know you survived this long. That's something." She looked at him strangely. No one had ever said anything like that to her. But danger grew. The monsters weren't gone. One night, a roar shook the ground. Darren stood instantly. "Stay here," he said. "No." Zira tried to rise, but pain kept her down. He slipped out with his rifle. She waited. Minutes felt like hours. Then a crash, a scream. She crawled toward the sound. Her arms trembled. Her heart pounded. She peeked through the broken wall and saw Darren on the ground, a beast clawing at him. Without thinking, she picked up a sharp pipe and screamed. The beast turned, and she threw the pipe with all her strength. It struck its eye. It roared and ran. She dragged herself to Darren. "You're bleeding." "So are you," he smiled faintly. "You should have run," she whispered. He shook his head. "I don't run. Not from people I care about." She froze. "You care?" He nodded. "I didn't know I would, but I do now." Tears welled in her eyes. Not from pain. From the strange warmth his words gave her. They hit again. He healed slowly. She began to walk, weak but steady. One morning, he found an old transmitter. It worked. "We can call for help," he said. "Someone will come." Zira frowned. "Who? Your people or mine?" He looked at her. "Who do you want come?" She didn't answer. She didn't know. 3 days later, a ship landed. Troops poured out. Humans. Darren stood between her and them. "She's with me," he said. The soldiers hesitated. "She's an alien." "She saved my life," Darren said. "She's not a threat." Zira stepped forward. "If you hurt him, I'll fight." They looked at each other and lowered their guns. They flew back together. Zira stared out the window. She had never seen stars like this. Never thought she'd leave that place alive. "Zira," Darren said, "you don't have to go back to your people." She looked at him. "Then where do I go?" He smiled gently. "With me." She nodded. From that day on, she was no longer the girl who'd been left to die. She was the girl who survived, who fought, who was saved, not just by a human soldier, but by the belief that she mattered. And she never forgot the moment he lifted her, bleeding and small, and said, "You're not alone." Because from that day on, she never was.